Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Toonkind at 12 frames per second. I am Authenticity. Today I will be playing the Ticked Off Chicken. Today I am joined by the fantastic.
Hi, I'm Candlestick, and today I am going to be playing Crystal Everlight, who's been having a time. Also, fair warning, I think both myself and Author are kind of tired right now, so if we don't make sense, that's why.
I am early morning groggy. Candle is late night groggy.
Yep, but we're doing this
Together,
anyway.
together we combine our forces. God. So
So how's
there are,
TOC doing?
well, there are quite a few things that Crystal, as an individual, kind of does to freak TOC out. But one of the worst is most definitely not answering their letters.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that like our opening maybe our opening shot is the inside of a mailbox and like a letter addressed to Crystal lands on top of the pile. And then
Mm-hmm.
another. And then another. And then another.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally like the mailbox rattles because TOC has kicked it and they're just stomping off towards her apartment.
Good start. We've already made the ticked off chicken ticked off.
Mm. So I have to ask, what do they find when they uh when they reach the apartment?
I mean, it looks pretty normal. Crystal's apartment, you know where it is, you've been there a few times. Nothing, seems out of the ordinary from the outside. You're welcome to roll me a perception check if you'd like, though.
Oh, please. Do-do-do, oh, that's a net one.
That's a nat one. Okay. Well, yeah, I think that's all TOC gets. It seems normal. Probably TOC's been looking is been like probably looking for potentially like signs that um something has gone wrong or like some sort of external danger or something like that. So maybe they're like shooting glares at people like some of the other students or stuff who are like walking around and stuff, and they're just giving this chicken a wide berth and stuff. And so but there's nothing like out of the ordinary that they can see.
Mm. Yeah, they're like the personal stuff has been solved. That has been out of the way. So they want to know who's gunning for Crystal.
Yep.
But yeah, they'll make their way over to the apartment. And unless something happens that keeps them from doing so, they will knock.
Alright, now I've got to roll a perception. At disadvantage. Which is always a great sign for Crystal, given how wildly her perception rolls differ.
Gently pat you.
Are you kidding me?
Mm.
Oh, okay. Um, yeah, with that, dirty 20 at disadvantage. Um, I think that, I think it kind of makes sense that Crystal might actually be paying more attention to if anyone's coming to visit her. And so like only a little bit after the after TOC knocks on the door, it's sort of thrown open with a bit more force than you're used to from Crystal. And uh there's like a she's definitely not looking at your height when she first answers, and then her she does the like sweep uh up down sort of, uh who who is it that I'm actually talking to, and sees you, and I am going to roll something else,
Hmm.
also at disadvantage.
So that's an 8.
Yeah. uh
Oh, sorry.
what's TOC's passive insight?
Um,
I mean, unless you would like to roll
well,
more insight.
I'll say that their insight is a +7, so they cannot physically roll lower,
Okay, okay.
just sort of mathematically.
Yep, yep, okay. Well, you definitely see the flash of disappointment on her face before it
Mm,
tries to smooth into something more professional, and there's a, oh, TSC, I did we have an appointment today?
uh, you are getting a very dubious look.
uh,
The chicken is looking at you.
um sorry if I forgot. I've been very busy. She's not moving
Well,
from the door.
they sign. Well, if we did, you wouldn't know because you either haven't been answering or reading my letters.
Okay. Well, probably not a history because I think Crystal has one of those because it's funny, I think she has one of those door slot net mail uh god words the mail slots in the door, because I think there was a time Ju and I were talking about Eeny Miny and Mo freaking out at the mail coming through the slots. So anyway, uh yeah, she's like, there's a bit of a oh, her eyes widen, and then she glances down at both of your feet, and you can see uh a pile of letters.
Mm. She looks at the letters. They look up at her. Hey, Crystal, let me in.
uh you, you might want to roll something for that.
Maybe persuasion?
Yeah, I mean, or intimidation.
I'm gonna go with intimidation in sort of like a familial sort of like, mostly because their persuasion is a -1. Listen, would you, if a chicken told you to do something, would you do it? That's an 8.
um I should roll I okay, I should roll a whiz save because there is a chance she could fail it still, but it's a very low chance. And I
Mm,
say that and I'm going to fail it now. I just know it because this is also at disadvantage, I'm pretty sure. Ability checks. This ability a check? I think this is an ability check. I should just double check.
Hmm.
Yeah, okay, I think this. Yeah. Sorry, I was just double checking.
No worries, bud.
Yeah, no.
Let's make it.
Um, there's there's a bit of a stubborn look in the. Uh, do we? I'm kind of busy at the moment.
I can see that, but I'm worried
Why?
because we've previously established that there's something going on with you and your family and mail, and you were careless enough to leave all of this on the doorstep. And if there's one thing that you have never been in front of me, it is careless.
Okay, that does get a wince out of her. Um, and I think that's probably enough for her to relent. And with a sigh, she sort of opens the door wider, is like, "All right, if you must." And yeah, she's just walking back inside.
Mm. And they chicken tappy tap tap after her.
Mm-hmm.
What's the apartment look like?
Would you like to roll another perception for me?
No, why not? 15. Man.
um, well, it doesn't take much to spot. It does not look like how Crystal normally keeps her apartment.
Hmm.
Crystal is generally fairly meticulous at keeping things clean. And it's kind of a mess right now. Um, you can see uh like uh it's not a mess in the sense of like there's stuff everywhere, though there is a bit of stuff around the place, but more just the sense that nothing's really been taken care of for a while. Like the mail piling up at the door, there's like the bins probably overflowing. There's takeout containers, Chinese takeout containers stacked on the kitchen counter, and there's a couple of spilt teacups across the room near the window, and Eenie, Miney, and Mo's nest, which I don't know if a 15 is enough to be able to tell anything more about that.
Mm. I mean, they definitely know that if the boys were here, it would not look like this. They would be after her at the very least to do her fucking chores.
hmm Also, the table is, if possible, more overflowing with books and stuff than you've ever seen it before.
Oh, fucking fantastic.
That is where
TUC takes
Crystal has gone
in
back to, by the way.
TUC takes in all of this bad news and they look at her.
And she is not looking back at you.
Mm. Well, first of all, I think that like she's going to go take care of the fucking teacups because that's going to stain the floors.
Mm, yeah, you'll find one being a regular teacup and one being like more of a like a soup mug. And
Mm.
that one is in three pieces on the ground and has spilled uh tea across the floor.
I think they very carefully pick it up, being they careful of the sharp edges. And they look at the overflowing trash can like, oh, yeah, these should go in a paper bag at the very least. Well, I think that like there's this like the camera stays on Crystal as they sort of like they clean up the tea cups and the spilled tea, take out the fucking garbage. They like walk across the counter and knock the Chinese takeout containers into a new garbage.
Oh, I love that image.
Like just they're not the best at house chores, but they can do better than this. And
Mm-hmm.
they'll over to the bedroom and make her bed because yeah. Um, and think that they'll pause and they'll approach Eeny, Miny, and Moe's nest. They know better than to mess with that.
Yeah. Now that you're closer, um, do you want to make an investigation check?
Oh, I can. No, 14. That's uncharacteristically good.
um, yeah. Now that you're closer, this nest looks like it's not been used for a while. It one edge of it seems to have been broken. Um, and it's definitely not like them to let anything like that happen to it.
Mm. Could they roll insight check on Crystal?
Yeah, go for it.
320.
Oof, nice. Um, well,
Specifically, they're looking for what kind of worried is Crystal right now?
okay, well, she's not, um, not really worried as much as she is, how to describe it? Um, fixated. Um,
Mm.
there's this like set to her body language at the moment that is very defensive, and the like uh the furrow in her eyebrows that is very very determined and like laser focused, and just like every part of her is currently going into what is in front of her, what she knows, which is her research. And now that you're looking more, you can see that the state of disarray that is her apartment is also extending to her. She looks exhausted. She is mechanically in D&D terms exhausted. But she also like looks like she hasn't slept in a while, and um her her hair is sort of falling out of her normal ponytail, and uh yeah, it she has not been taking care of herself.
Mm. I think that rather than trying to distract her or trying to talk to her, they're going to hop up on the table and then up on the book stacks, and then from the book stack to her shoulder, and they're going to preen her hair and try to fix it a little bit.
I'm I'm honestly gonna roll her another perception to see if she even notices. That's an 11. So I think she does, but she probably didn't notice you approaching, so there's a little bit of a start and a. What are you doing?
They tap her head.
Uh, I I don't have time for this. And she's just gonna let you.
Mm, yeah, it's honestly they're giving me like just take the entire the bun out and do it again, just like that thing where if you're doing a sport, uh sometimes you tie your hair back really tight so that it almost feels like a helmet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're giving her one of those. She can use all the awareness she can get right now.
There's probably a bit of the like pulling of the face, like as y- I'm not sure if you ever had like the experience of like a mum tying your hair back into that really tight ponytail, and it's not pleasant.
Mm, yeah, like they're not harsh. They're not um they're not going out of their way to make it hurt, which they honestly could because those things suck. But
Mm.
they're not forgiving either.
Yeah, yeah, and honestly, it is probably uh gotten kind of tangled, so that's never fun to work through.
Yeah, it's preening is their main mode of affection. They'll spend a solid hour on this hair. Actually, could I roll? I guess a dex check
Yeah, go
because
for it.
it's I. I'm going to argue. I guess sleight of hand over any kind of charisma check because they're not making it look pretty. They're making it functional.
Yeah, yeah, sleight of hand wax.
Mm, 14.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Is probably some uh odd bits maybe sticking up, um like maybe you miss like, yeah, those like strands underneath that can like fall out when you're trying to get them in. Um, but for the
Mm,
most part, you just get like the majority it into that tight ponytail bun.
yeah. Actually, you know what it is?
Hmm.
They um when you have your hair in a bun and it sort of sticks out over the top of your head? Um
Yes.
it they accidentally get gave her enough of that it kind of looks like a chicken's crown.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and they're just like, I see nothing wrong with this.
It was deliberate.
That's a fun surprise whenever she decides to look up and find a fucking mirror.
Yeah, I feel like I should be. I'm just trying to like. Is she going to be continue to be stubborn and ignore TOC, or is she actually gonna address the chicken? And I don't know what to roll for that.
Can perched on her shoulder, they see what she's working on?
Um, yeah, probably.
What's she working on, Candle?
Um, so what was your last perception roll? Was 14, right? Or 15? Yeah, 15 for the perception and 14 for the investigation, I believe. Um, it's you've probably seen Crystal's research before. In fact, you would definitely have from so you know her note styles from your own sessions where she's been helping out helping TOC out and so that probably gives you some insight that these are ones you don't think you've seen before, but you definitely recognize her sister's name amongst them, and what look like magic charts and medical history. There is another name in there, a Iridiana treble clef, and just trying to think, a bunch of books open on various different topics. Uh, there's one about folklore's one. There's one about the history of Ruma. There's one that's covering general deities. There's another that's covering cursed artifacts. There's another that's covering uh, Toonkind ailments. Another one that's covering differences between Fae based on locations. There's a lot here at the moment.
Mm. Internally, the chicken's just like, God, I'm glad I didn't go to college. All right, well, man. They look at Crystal.
She's still not meeting that. She's stubbornly ignoring your presence at the moment.
Mm. I think they're going to stand on one of the books that she's trying to use for reference because they are small enough.
um, you probably get oh, should I roll an insight for her before this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna. That's gonna be fun.
A 10.
That's a 4
Well, they
though.
sure are a chicken.
There's a uh, do you mind? I'm using that.
Oh, of course. They stand on her notebook.
I'm using that too.
They stand on another book.
Look, the table's kind of full right now. I'm using a lot of this space, so maybe you shouldn't be on the table right now.
Crystal. This
What?
is the opportunity for you to tell me whatever's going wrong without the fight.
Nothing is wrong. And I need to roll again.
Please tell me you're not trying to roll deception.
Maybe.
Candle. Candle, this entire apartment is just like something is wrong.
I never
It's a
thought.
neon sign above her head.
Look, she's in a state of denial right now.
Twin fours. The fours are with you.
It snapped out that, and it's like, you don't believe it for a second. You don't even know if she believes it, but she's adamantly trying to believe it.
God. God fucking damn it. These young people. Oh. Let's see. How mean do they want to be? Okay, their patience is holding. I think that they. What happened to the boys, Crystal?
I don't know and I don't care.
Yes, you do.
They left.
What happened?
Okay, how are you going to respond to this, Chris? Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to roll that, aren't I? Okay. Okay, she is keeping her composure.
Mm.
The her like grip does like tighten a bit, and we got into a disagreement.
They look around the apartment. As I understand it, you often have disagreements with them. But I know them, and I don't think that they would have ever left your side unless it was something serious.
uh there is um a bit of silence, and then they told Cassie.
They told Cassie,
That she was cursed.
oh boy. Oh, boys. Well, they shouldn't have, not least because you haven't told us whatever you're keeping secret. So I'm sure that whatever Cassie knows, it's not quite it.
No, she knows everything now. Kinda had to tell her when they brought her to me after telling her that she was cursed, and I handled the explanation poorly.
Talk to me.
What's there to say?
Well, you're using what you love as an escape from what you're scared of. Your home is not being taken care of, and neither are you. Your friends are cast to the winds, and I am here to listen.
Oh god, how are you going to respond to this? There's there's a she does she does put she does put her pen down, and then she finally like looks, and there's a kind of like um how sorry, words are really hard right now. It's a um
You're good. You're good. It's late.
it's kind of a um suspicious look, like, and the like, and a bit defensive. She's probably barely holding herself together with what she knows. And so there's this. Why?
Why what?
No one no one ever listens to me. Why are you?
Because when I look at you, I see me, and that breaks my heart. I see someone that I could have been and someone that I am. Because I think that you've spent your life trying to do the absolute best that you can in circumstances that have never been ideal and are only getting worse.
Oh, okay. I definitely need to roll this again.
I think that TOC is biting back.
Oh.
Oh no. TOC is biting back because we're family. Because I don't think that's worth what
Mm.
they would like it to be right now.
Okay.
So how
That's
about that net one?
yeah. That's a was another whiz save. Those words. Kind of just. I'd said that she was holding herself together. It was so fragile, the outer shell. And she'd been trying to not um to not think about what had happened, and put it out of her mind and keep going, because this is what she always, and she could do this, and then you say that, and it's true, and no one has ever said that to her before, and it the walls just break, um and then she's crying, and um there aren't any words getting out. She's just sort of um it it starts with the like the trying to rapidly blink back the tears, and then the sob that makes it out, and then like trying to hold it in, but you can't, and it just comes like harder, and then there's just, yeah, she can't stop.
Mm, I think that if she'll let them, they'll just pull her into a hug and let her cry into their feathers.
Mm. And she does, and um I think she just, because I have no words, and like you probably get pieces of like started sentences, but there's no coherency. There's just I TOC knows Crystal as being like the entire time TOC's known Crystal, she's been always professional and always acting very mature for her age, and but in this moment she is just acting, she's like a child.
Mm, God. Yeah, they just hold on. They're very warm and very soft, and they make little comforting chicken noises against her head. Um, like their hold is very strong, and they are just steady, standing on the table and letting her lean on them. God, their heart is breaking. I think that they just stay like that for as long as she needs. They're not going to pull back first, and they won't let her rush herself.
Yeah, and um eventually she gets herself under control, and I I don't know where to start.
Hmm. Candle, you still there?
I'm still here. Sorry. Did you catch that?
I heard it sounded like you trailed off and you were thinking.
Oh, okay. I said I don't know where to start.
Ah, hmm. TUC signs one-handed so that she can see, but they're still sort of holding on. Start. What began it?
Do you want the long answer is probably the better one.
I'm here.
When I was a child, my parents were adventurous. We traveled a lot. Um, always a new place, always in a new scene, always a new adventure around every corner. And I I will admit I was never the fondest of it. But it was it was fine until there was one place we were visiting, exploring in Firuma, and I don't remember. I pieces. I was only 8, but um, there was there was a surge of magical energy, and it hit our mum, who was carrying Cassie at the time. And we didn't know what it did until she was born. And that's when we found out that that their magics were fused. The magical whatever it was had fused their magics, and Cassie was taking our mum's magic.
Oh. And as Cassie grew and grew stronger,
Our mother had less magic, yes.
and she never knew.
She shakes her head. My parents, they didn't want her to know, to have that, to feel like she was responsible for it.
I can understand the impulse, but she's older now.
I suppose so.
I'm not trying to recriminate you.
I told her I would never let anything happen to her.
They just pull you into another hug.
And I've been trying to keep it. I don't want her. I don't want. I don't want her to have to live with that. This fear, this worry that I've grown up with. I was trying to do everything that so she wouldn't.
You've been so strong.
I it, it I didn't. I messed up. I when when she was when I got angry and I said things I didn't mean, and I was trying to protect her, but I just made things worse, and now she won't talk to me, and then I don't blame her, but I was angry and I, I took it out on that's why they left.
I'm not going to pretend you haven't fucked up. But Crystal, you have been pushing yourself to your limits, trying to prevent something that's already happened. You know you're not to blame for Cassie's predicament, don't you? You didn't cause it.
But I know I didn't. But I can fix it. I have to fix it.
And I think you will. But you haven't fixed it yet. And trying to do it on your own is not going to work. Do you think if you had a breakthrough in the next 5 minutes and you took everything on this table to Cassie, do you think she'd talk to you about it right now?
And her shoulders slump. No. She has not been thinking that far ahead. It is very obvious.
Cassie, you can't expect Cassie to, and they stop and they start over. You do not have the power to resolve Cassie's story for her, Crystal.
And there's just conflict. Like, she knows, but also there's just this stubborn, but what if I can?
I think she'll need you. I think that she'll need people around her. But do you really think you're doing a service to her by, and they look around the apartment, by hurting yourself?
I I I wasn't thinking about myself.
You should. You are your sister's sister. If you care about her, care about you.
She shouldn't.
She does. And you are your friend's friend. And I know that you like them. And if you care about the boys, then care about you. And if I have done anything to help you at all, take care of yourself for my sake. I can't ask for anything more.
I yeah, there's like still there's like still a lot in her expression that is um that is like unresolved. Um
Mm,
a lot of like built up emotions that she has shoved under the surface for a very long time. Um a lot of questions, a lot of doubt. But the fight is leaving her.
mm,
And now she's just exhausted. I okay. I I can do that.
what feels more difficult, solving a curse or making some apologies?
Curse.
Mm, and you've been tangling with that for years and years. So
Yeah. Well.
I think you can patch things up.
Family always did say I was stubborn.
Mm. They nod and they look very proud. How much does the rest of your family know about what's going on? I don't know. I assume your father is still around. Any others?
Uh, not many. Um, there's our dad who and you can roll an insight if you'd like.
Oh, sure. 26.
Oh, yeah. There's okay. The look on her face. There is a series of looks on her face that you can read with impeccable detail. There is So you mentioned before that it wasn't her fault. You can't blame yourself for it. She doesn't blame herself for it. She
Mm,
blames her dad. Um and probably has for a while at this point. Um, and now there is a bit of regret. Like she's recently had a revelation that is complicating her feelings on the matter.
mm, noted. You're just like, okay, okay, next. Maybe not right now.
We'll unpack that later.
Mm,
Um, but she moves on from that. We apparently have a cousin now, but I doubt they know anything. And we we have an aunt on uh mother's side of the family, but I think she they I think they knew, but
mm.
I haven't seen them in a long time.
Have you considered writing to her? To them?
I No, I hadn't.
Hmm. At the very least, if she's on your mother's side, then even if she doesn't know much, then she can help you with the burden.
Yeah. Hey, she's there. I keep getting it wrong. They're really good like
It
that. I think you would like
hmm,
them. kind of, kind of remind me a bit of them, actually.
it's like I don't know how to respond to that. But yeah, they sort of shuffle their feathers, some of which are a little bit damp. Um, they go, it do not isolate yourself. I will be angry. You've scared me very badly today. I'm going to go make sure that the boys are okay. I don't expect they will be, but Crystal, I'm not very inclined to drag them back here until they're ready. So it might be a while before you see them. Do
She
you have any
looks.
messages for them?
Uh, she just looks very. Again, a lot of emotions. Like, um, she's still angry. That's definitely clear. But she's also up like remorseful, and there's when you say that you're not going to force them back and it might be a while, there's definitely a yeah, I I know. And a look of maybe they might not come back. And um she does say in a small voice, I I told them not to come back.
Oh, they look at the nest in the corner, but you've kept their place for them.
She just hand wave shrug. Not I wasn't focusing on. I might have not. I just wasn't really doing anything with the apartment.
I noticed. And if you look around, like you'll notice the dishes have been cleared, the takeout boxes have been taken out. Like they have basically they've been your parent today.
Z- you, uh, when, what, uh, she just plonks her head on the table.
They pat her head. It's like there, dear. You can have your dignity back when you're ready.
I don't know if I deserve my dignity back.
Mm. Despite your attempts, you have not fucked up your life.
Sorry, I just the eye candle just that caught me.
I do jazz hands.
It's one way of summing it up. Uh,
But they go on. They go on. You you owe Eeny, Miny, and Mo and your sister both sincere apologies. And you need to remind them that you love them. But I know you, and I know that you do love them. And so I think that things will work out for the best.
I do love them more than anything.
I know.
But what if they don't? I I messed up real bad with both of them,
Yes, you did.
and they don't. They have a right not to forgive me.
Yes, they do. But they love you too. And even if they don't forgive you, they will keep on loving you.
What do I do now?
You clean your damn apartment.
Yeah. I guess I have that one coming.
You clean your apartment. You don't touch their nest. You write some letters. And you start thinking about what you want to say.
Okay.
Mm.
I'm
And
actually gonna roll
TC,
something.
no?
Yeah, I'm just gonna roll something.
Sorry, I think I talked over you.
Yeah, sorry. I said I'm gonna roll something. You can keep going while I'm doing that.
Mm. TC looks around the apartment and they go, I think I'm going to get you a punching bag.
uh, there's a chuckle from her, and the um that it's not the worst idea actually.
Mm.
And she's she looks really tired. Um, she's still like she's still like awake and coherent and um everything, but ugh, it's starting to sink into her, and the
Mm.
uh sheer willpower and spite she's been running on for the past week is starting to run low.
Yeah, I think they help her rise and um, they'll lead her to bed, which has, as I said before, been made for her. Um, and like the covers have been pulled back invitingly and all,
Aw.
and they just sort of sit her down and they go, "Stay," and then they go get her glass of water and they plunk that down and they look kind of forbidding.
Um, I think I think she gets the message. Um, I think yeah, she's just still sitting on the bed, like actually she's probably like uh flopped onto her side.
Mm,
Um, yeah, when TOC comes back in.
yeah.
And I might roll another one of those con saves, see how she's doing. Same. I think
Mm,
there's still part of her that is fighting it. Like I've still got more to do.
God. I think that, oh God. Is there like a chair that TOC can perch on in here?
Hmm. Mm, I probably there's probably a desk chair. She also has a bedside table.
Hmm. I think that they'll hop up on the bedside table and sort of like plunk themselves down in a little potato shape. And they look at her sort of like waiting for her to get comfortable.
Just you have her just staring back. She still has her glasses on, by the way.
Reach over very carefully, take those off. They sign, Crystal, I really don't know how better to communicate this.
You took her glasses. I don't know if she can see what you're signing.
They point at the bed, lay down, close your eyes.
She there was a bit of a protest at the glasses and then a sigh and the you're not going to let me up, are you?
They shake their head.
And she yawns and but I still have so much to do and
The bed, lay down.
okay. Just for a little bit.
Mm. I think once she's settled in bed, they she hears she hears a voice in the room. No words, but just gentle humming.
Hmm. Oh, that's so pretty.
And they will stay until she is as asleep as she's going to get. Uh, and I think that they'll sneak back into the kitchen and just like make some meals to be in the fridge for um when she wakes up.
You um before you go, like she's probably out fairly fast. Because yeah, again, she's been running on empty for a while, and but before you go, you do hear a mumbled, "Thanks for caring."
God. God. That's fine. They didn't need their heart. I think that like they very carefully close the door and then they kind of stomp into the kitchen like these fucking kids.
uh, I'm so sorry, TOC.
Man. And yeah, they make her some meals. And I think they tried to think where they could possibly find their boys because they're of course it's the fucking ranger who leaves town. Of course it is. They're going to have to go into the fucking mountains.
hmm
God, tracking them is a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah, things definitely got out of hand.
Mm. I think that like they're just going to have to trust the fact that they're in a storyline, and sooner or later, some sort of like plucky happenstance will lead them to the people who need them.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
uh, thank you, author, for doing this and bringing your chicken to unscrew up some of the mess that our characters have gotten themselves into.
mm, they're just they're just sitting here, man. They're not a therapist. What the fuck are they doing?
Mm, um, but yeah, it was really good. That went better than I expected, honestly. I was expecting more shouting and more chicken having to wrangle a wizard into bed.
Mm, God. Thank you all so much for listening.
Yeah, thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.